So Jesus was on earth with his disciples for 3 years. And if you look at our Gospels and you look at all the conversations and how many days it counts for, basically you're getting about 4 weeks in the life of those 3 years, right? Can you imagine if someone wrote down what you did every day for 3 years, everything you said, everything you did? It would be so hard. That would be the biggest book in the world. So what those guys did was, led by the Holy Spirit, they just wrote down what they felt was most important. And one of the things that no matter where Jesus goes, people ask him questions. They ask him questions all the time. Some people ask him questions, it says, to try to trick him. Some people ask him questions to get him on their side or see, is that guy on our side? And usually Jesus doesn't answer their question. He always answers the question they should have asked. And sometimes it can be confusing when we read. But there's 4 times where somebody came up to Jesus and asked him a question, and he liked the question. And so he gave him a direct answer, and one of them's today. His disciples came to him and said, Lord, teach us how to pray. Say this. And he gives us that prayer we call the Our Father. Prayer is the most important thing. You and I can get a lot wrong and Jesus will be just fine. But he wants us to make sure we're praying, we're talking to him, and that in that talk, we're trusting him. We're trusting that he'll take care of us. He says, daily bread. And our holy deacon one time got after me. I was getting anxious about something, and he said, Joe, daily bread, not weekly bread, not monthly bread, daily bread. You can trust Jesus today. So this is what we're doing right here. We're praying, and that's what Jesus wants us to do. Now we got to do something kind of practical at the end of this. I'm going to go down front for just a second, okay? You guys wait there. All right, so this is a dance number. I'm totally kidding. I'm not going to dance. All right. What I want to talk us through is we're doing communion differently now than we used to. And I know that some of us, this isn't where we go to church on Sunday, so I just want to walk us all through it so we know what we're doing, okay? It's not hard at all. Basically, we're going to make our lines like we always do. But what we'll do this time is the first group in line, so you guys who are up front, right on this side, you'll come right along here, and there's all these little black crosses, and you just get right on one of those black crosses. And then I'll come over to you and give you communion, and then you go back. Yeah? The other thing we'll do is whoever's behind you, well, there's little black crosses right here. So when you see people in front of you in line, you just come over to these black crosses, and you stand on them so that you can fill in for the person after they receive. Yeah? So basically, we're using our 2 lines, but we're kind of making 4 in a weird way. First group comes up and receives, the next group's waiting to receive. And then we come forward when there's a spot for us. Anybody watch hockey? Kind of like a hockey line shift, huh? All right. Why are we doing it this way? A couple reasons. This is how Catholics received communion for a really, really, really long time in our 2,000-year history. When we line up like we usually do, that's kind of new. It's about 50 years old. But for a little over 1,500 years that we know of, people received communion this way, right at the sanctuary. So it's going to be a little rough at first. Everything's tough the first few times we do it. But after we've been to Mass a few times, it'll be second nature. The thing I want to remind you, it's okay to make a mistake. I make them all the time. So don't worry if you're in line and somehow you did the wrong thing. Nothing bad's going to happen except I might chastise Deacon Denny. What do you think? Should I do that? No. So we'll come up in our lines. One group will get here. The group behind them will line up on the crosses in front of the pew. And then you just move forward. And when you see the people right here move forward, then you move forward. Okay? We'll have ushers here, I think, to help. Is that right? Yep. So want to help us with that, and this is how we receive communion now. We've been doing it at our Sunday Mass for a couple weeks, First week was a little interesting, yeah? But second week went great. It's pretty easy once we do it, okay? So now let's stand up, and we're going to offer our prayers to the Lord.